Episode 10, boy, it flies by. Sports gambling is legal now. We're going to talk about that. Me and the boys in just a few minutes. Got Ben Kurt next week. Episode 10, the Holton Ahlers Show, brought to you, new sponsor, title sponsor, Southern Ease. We'll talk more about them after the break. Hope you enjoyed the show. If not, as always.
Holton Ahlers turns, and Holton will take off and run himself. He's at the 40-yard line. Holton Ahlers to the 30. Look at him go! 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Pirates!
There's local politics, bud.
It's showtime!
Episode 10, sports gambling, now legal in North Carolina. The boys have been talking about it for quite some time now. It even goes back to the practice episodes. We would talk about our bets. Hey, I'm already undefeated. Took the Knicks minus 6 last week, so doing good. Before I get to the guys, though, new title sponsor, Southern Ease. What are you waiting for? Experience the wellness and benefits of Southern Ease tasty hemp edibles by going to southernease.com. Shout out to those guys for sponsoring the show. Title sponsor, too, so you're going to hear a lot from those. We're going to do some giveaways with them here in the future, so shout out to those guys. Now, let's go to the walk-ons in studio. Boys, I miss you. How you doing?
Good. We're doing good. How you doing, man?
Hey, doing good, dude. I got to experience a little bit of Texas this past week. Me and the boys, Coach Stoops, got like 40 tickets to the rodeo, so that was pretty sick. Then we saw Post Malone after, so good time.
Post Malone and a rodeo. I don't think those two I would put together.
He sung a little country music, and then actually Sean Bailey, we talked about him last week. He got to come down and stay the weekend, and we got to go to the stockyards after and see the cattle run down the road, dude. I love Texas. I could live here very easily. So we shall see if I return to Greenville or if we're going to be doing this remote.
Awesome.
I got to ask, what country songs was Post Malone singing?
He sung, dude, honestly, I'm not going to lie. I had a couple old fashions in me, but he was singing some country music.
Didn't he do a tribute for Toby Keith?
Yes, he did a Toby Keith song.
Yeah.
He did he did like 3 or 4, and he sung his songs too, but I probably wouldn't buy tickets to him regularly, so it was kind of cool to see him that way.
Good benefit.
But Texas update, kind of said what I did this past weekend. I made the first round of cuts, boys. I know we were a little worried. The roster went from 75 to 58. I made that cut. They ended up cutting a quarterback. We had a scrimmage Saturday, which cuts were Saturday. I played really, really well. It was 5 for 5. Scrimmage got cut short. I only had one drive because someone got hurt. But had a good scrimmage, so it's going to continue to stack days. We got another joint practice Thursday, so excited about that.
Way to drop your nuts right there, Holt. I mean, you go and you have a good scrimmage, and we were talking about this on the game the other night, and you're like, you get interest from other teams, and you're hearing buzz about your name just from people seeing your stats or kind of seeing the film. So just keep performing, dude, and good things are going to happen no matter where it is.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother, got to. Hey, I'm in fighting the walk-on life right now. Any day could be my last, so got to figure it out. Hey, let's keep talking a little bit of ball, dude. QB carousel's going wild right now in the NFL free agency. Literally every time you turn on the TV, something's new. What are y'all's thoughts on it? Free agency in general, and then we'll kind of get into the quarterback, play and what guys are on new teams. What are y'all's early thoughts on it?
I thought Kirk Cousins landing the job in Atlanta was pretty interesting. What's he, 36 years old, landing in a big contract like that? I think Kirk Cousins still has a few more years in him. I thought Atlanta had a really good team last year. What were they missing? I think they were missing a quarterback. So I think, Atlanta might have a shot with a veteran quarterback. So we'll see what happens.
I have a proposition for you guys, a little off script. Me and my brothers were talking about it a little bit ago. If you could rank, because I think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. I think he is old. He's coming off an injury. I don't know if I'd pay him that much, but good for you, Kirko. If you could rank Kirk, Baker Mayfield, Justin Fields, and Russell Wilson to start a franchise right now as your franchise quarterback, I want you to go 1 through 4 right there and name them.
For how long?
It's just your franchise
with their
right
age
now.
right
Yes.
now.
I mean, you got to take Justin Fields.
If you want to hear mine right off the bat, I'm going Baker 1, Justin Fields 2. Then I'm going Kirk and Russ.
Yeah, Russ would be my last one for sure, especially after the last 2 years in Denver.
Yeah. You see Baker just got paid. They believe in him.
Yeah. Baker had a good playoff run. I think he has, the most playoff wins in that group.
Yeah.
No, Russell might.
Russell's definitely
Yeah,
one.
I forgot Russell Wilson was even in that conversation after I just said his name. I would do Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Baker, and then Russell.
Okay.
That's how I would do it.
I can't believe y'all are putting a Super Bowl winner last on this list.
What are you doing?
So I'll probably go Justin Fields. I'll probably go Russell Wilson second. Kirk Cousins is last. And who's the fourth dude?
Baker.
Yeah, Baker's probably third. I think Canales did a great job with Baker.
He did.
Let's hear your quarterback's input on this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're starting a franchise, I mean, you got to start with the younger guy. I mean, Justin Fields is 24 years old. And I really don't think he's even played bad. I mean, I think he could win if he's around the right situations. And then 2, you got to go Baker. He's the next youngest. And then Kirk. And then I guess Russ, man. Russ is just kind of older. My thing, okay, let's go back to the, Kurt going to Atlanta. The only thing, look, it looks great on paper, but I think he'll do a good job. The only thing that would scare me a little bit is if you combine Russell Wilson going to Denver 2 years ago and Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta, it's eerily similar. I talked about this on Pirate Radio earlier. Look, young receivers who are kind of ready to blossom, a good running game, a young running back, and seems like all the pieces are there but a quarterback. That's literally the exact same situation. So I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is going to go and not play good and they're not going to succeed, but people are maybe getting a little too hyped up on this Falcons train just because he's going there. I think they got a couple other pieces that, maybe need to – you don't just lose because of a quarterback. Now, I mean, you can lose because of that, but it's just – it kind of scares me a little bit. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you. I think Atlanta's defense was a way better defense than what Denver had. I could be wrong there, but that's
Denver gave up 70 points in one game last year.
Yeah.
I agree also, and I think that Atlanta's offensive weapons are probably better than what Denver's were.
I think so as well, but everyone's probably thinking, why are we talking about Kirk Cousins when Saquon is with the Eagles and Josh Jacobs in Green Bay? That's probably what everyone...
Derrick Henry
and Derrick Henry.
to the Ravens.
Derrick Henry, yeah. I don't know if those running backs are that big of a deal now. I mean, the thing that would worry me about the Eagles is they're losing all their vets, linemen.
Sorry about that, Holt, but Drew, we were talking about this similar to what you just said the other day on the couch. A backup quarterback got more than...
Yes, that's true. Derrick Henry had a 2-year, $16 million deal. Marcus Mariota just signed a 1-year, $10 million deal.
Yeah.
So how valuable are running backs really? A backup quarterback that's never going to play is getting paid.
Well, see, that's the thing. Is I think a backup quarter. That's me being in the league. I guess is having a great backup quarterback, which I'd say Mariota's in that case. Kind of.
I agree.
That could win you playoff games down there. That could give you home field advantage because your quarterback goes down for 1 or 2 games and you're in the race. Whoever you have as number 2, you better hope he's paid well because if not, he ain't gonna be good.
Right. Yeah, that's an insurance play right there. I think you got to have an insurance play. But I think running backs have been undervalued for the last decade and money wise in the NFL. I still think these are big time positions. I think you're right there. Eagles did lose a lot of O linemen. I think the Ravens still have a pretty good team. You're adding Derrick Henry to that with Lamar Jackson,
Keaton
Mitchell.
And Keaton,
Thunder and Lightning.
I think that's the biggest flash of the whole free agency. Outside of Josh Jacobs, I thought Green Bay really had a good second half of the year last year. They had a really young team. What were they missing? Kind of that key figure piece. They didn't really have any flashy
it guy.
The it guy, yeah. So I think Josh Jacobs could really be that it guy. He's still young, and I think Green Bay, as they age together and grow up together, LOL. But as they get older and they start filling each other out more and getting that mesh, I think Green Bay could really have a deadly team, especially getting that running back piece.
Yeah.
So, you didn't think Aaron Jones kind of filled that role? I mean, in the playoffs and end of the season, he was one of the top backs.
Aaron Jones, top back, I agree with you, Drew, but he's not Josh Jacobs. Let's be real here. It's like comparing Marcus Mariota to Kirk Cousins.
Heck no.
I don't know. I think Aaron Jones was special, and he definitely didn't carry Green Bay.
Josh Jacobs has been a number 2 back in the NFL the last, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah,
debatable.
That's a big pick for Green Bay.
For sure. But how old is he? And didn't he get hurt this year or last year?
Yeah, Josh Jacobs has injury problems, but he's still a great back every time he's in. He's a receiving back. He's a rusher. You get the best of both worlds with him. He's a great player.
Yeah.
I think I just don't. The only thing is like Aaron Jones is a good player, and I don't know how much better Josh Jacobs is over Aaron Jones. Like he's not going to be like 10 times better. He might bring him a couple more touchdowns overall, but like I don't know if it's that big of a jump rather than hitting someone that's a quarterback. Like honestly, we're talking about Russ going to the Steelers. Like that might be a good thing, or like Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta. That's another one. See another quarterback that kind of fits the fan base, dude, is freaking Gardner Minshew, ECU alum, going to the Raiders. That personality with those fans is going to be great. I would imagine that I'm seeing things that they might try to draft Jaden Daniels if he's available, that he's interested in going there. And Gardner's kind of a good guy to mentor that. He did that with Anthony Richardson this past year, so that's something to kind of look at. What are y'all's thoughts on him?
I think he also fits the head coach mold very well, too. They're a gritty bunch. He's a player's coach. Gardner's definitely a team first kind of guy. So I think he fits in there pretty well.
Jack just took the words right out of my mouth. Like word for word, I was going to say exactly about the coach. But outside of that, I think if they do go with the young quarterback, Gardner's the best person probably to develop him that I know. Obviously, we know Gardner, but just Holton being in a room with him, how smart he is. And then obviously what he's done in the NFL so far. I think he's a great pickup for Oakland, especially with that young quarterback room they're going to have.
No, 100%. I mean, he is, the little time I had with him, he was great. And that is a huge thing as a young quarterback is who you have in the room. I had Geno and Drew Lock, obviously. Drew Lock with a big deal going to the Giants. Actually might get a shot there, which would be cool. But, there's a couple other quarterbacks. Drew, what are your thoughts on Gardner before we kind of get on to the next one?
Well, first, I think Garner earned a chance to start after what he did with the Colts. I mean, he comes in as a backup and almost leads them to the playoffs. They lose off a drop pass from a backup running back. And people argue Jonathan Taylor should have been in the game. I agree. But I think he deserves to start in the NFL after the year that he had. And I don't think Jaden Daniels will fall that far.
No, yeah. They paid him 2 years, $25 million. So, I mean, he's definitely going to start. He's probably just going to be a placeholder for whoever they draft. That's why it's only a 2-year deal. But he's a great guy to have in that room to help develop that guy and all that. Where do y'all guys Justin Fields, I mean, what the heck is he going to do? I mean, the Bears obviously got a decision to make. You would think that they're going to take Caleb Williams 1 overall. That I think to be crazy not to, but that leaves Justin Fields on the block, and obviously people thought he was going to Atlanta. So where do y'all see him going?
I think we've talked about this offline. Maybe we've talked about it on here before. Why would the Bears – I know if you have Caleb Williams, everyone's going to take him. I don't care who you are. You're probably going to take him. But you're really repeating what you've done twice already. Picking up Mitch Trubisky in number 2 spot, and then picking up Justin Fields, 2 top 10 quarterbacks you've drafted. And the same thing's happened. You want to replace them. You want to go with something else. I don't think the Bears' success or failures rely on the quarterback. The whole freaking franchise. Yeah. So I don't know. I think Justin Fields is a quarterback. He's still very young. You need time to develop. I just feel like you're going to repeat what you're doing. It just seems like you're repeating exactly what you just did twice already.
Do you think they could trade their pick?
They could. That'd be a good choice too. But I don't think you
first overall.
I don't think you pass.
No way.
Like I'm saying, you don't pass a quarterback like that. But what they're doing is repeating what they've done twice already.
It's cheaper to draft than re-sign.
Yeah.
That is very true, but where's Justin Fields going to go now? I mean, I saw some reports of the Patriots. Maybe I don't know. I mean, they got an early pick in the draft. They could get a quarterback then. Like, where does Fields go? And then what do you get for him too? Like, I mean, you're definitely not going to get a first rounder for him. I mean, because they know obviously any team that's trading for Fields now knows that the Bears need to trade him. Like, they're not going to offer some huge deal when they know that the Bears have to trade him. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It could easily. You might not get the value you want off Justin Fields if they're going to go the Caleb Williams route, but he could land somewhere that needs have an older starting quarterback that needs a younger backup to fill those shoes in a couple of years. That wouldn't be the worst case, but I just don't see why the Bears would repeat, which they're going to do, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think the most obvious choice for Justin Fields looks like Minnesota. I mean, Jefferson already spoke out and said that he would love to play with him. Kirk Cousins is gone. That just seems like a team that could fit with like Justin Fields going. And I could see the Patriots doing some sleeper stuff and then using that 3 pick, maybe draft like Marvin Harrison or something.
That would be sick. I think Minnesota would be a good thing. The only thing that scares me about that is they just signed Darnold to 1 year, $10 million. So that's the only thing about that. But that's another spot that honestly I think he'd play really well there. I could see his career kind of flourishing there. So hopefully he ends up there. They got a really good offensive scheme. He would fit it. It's kind of the similar one I ran in Seattle. So that'd be a pretty sick one that he would go. I think dude's a baller. I mean, people might call me crazy, but Buddy was running all over the place. People had really high expectations before this past year, and he was just hurt this past year. Like he didn't get benched or anything. So I don't know. We'll see. Jack, what do y'all got on it?
I'm kind of indifferent on it. But we sit here and we talk about Caleb Williams, and that kind of brings me to the next kind of topic here is the upcoming draft class and the QBs in this draft specifically. I don't know if anyone will have Caleb Williams outside their top 3 quarterbacks. I think that'd be kind of foolish here. But I'm curious to hear your guys' maybe top 2 or top 3 quarterbacks in this draft. I've got a potential, not a sleeper, but some of you guys might not have him in the top 2 or 3.
I'll go first.
All right.
Or Drew, do you want to go first?
I was gonna just have Jack start it off since his is
I'll go first. I mean, Caleb Williams obviously number 1. I'm taking Drake May 2 and Bo Nix 3.
There you
and
go.
I guarantee you that's what Jack was going to say too. I think Bo Nix is really, really good. Only thing that scares me about Jaden Daniels is he has 2 first-round receivers. He played in an offense, the same exact offensive coordinator that Desmond Ridder did. Desmond Ridder looked good in college, ran the ball good, had Alec Pierce, who plays for the Colts now, as a good receiver, and he had a really good tight end. So there's kind of a similar path with the exact same coach. That's the only thing that scares me about him. So I'm taking Bo Nix 3. That might be wild, but I'm taking Bo Nix 3.
Yeah, I agree. I was pretty high on Bo Nix. I was flirting with the idea with myself of Jaden Daniels versus Drake May. I think Drake May is a safer pick, but I'm pretty, like I just said, I'm pretty high on Bo Nix. I'm excited to see him. Saw a couple clips from his pro day at Oregon this week. He looked great, so we'll see where he ends up.
I think we all can agree Caleb Williams is unanimous number 1. He's going to be I might as well just make Holton pissed off and put J.J. McCarthy in my top 3. I'm kidding. That was a joke. I would put Drake May, and it'd be Drake May, Jaden Daniels, flip-flop for me. I think they're tied number 2. Dark horse, though, a true dark horse I see. Like, you see all these quarterback classes, and you see, like, who flakes, who becomes something that might be further down the road. I like Michael Pratt in this draft class. I think he could become something. He was a really good quarterback in college, playing at Tulane. I think you don't think so?
I mean, I think he will, but I mean,
you have a dark
like
horse.
You have a 7 rounder.
You have 11. Yeah, I know. Tom Brady, 6th, 7th rounder.
I thought we were talking about the top
30.
5
Your
picks.
quarterback. I was saying like a dark horse in this draft class. Like when you look at the names, I think someone who could really possibly perform in the future.
Julius Wood. Just kidding. Sorry,
Michael
off
Pratt.
topic, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like, do you guys have a dark horse that in the top 10 quarterbacks in this class?
Do y'all consider Penix a dark horse? I think he could be
do.
special one day.
I mean, one day you better hurry up. He's 26 years old right now.
You're right.
Do you think people are writing him off because of his injuries?
Injuries and age and lefty. I mean, dude's good. He'll probably flirt with first round, late first round, early second round. But I think he's a sleeper, Drew. I mean, I'm like sleeping on him. I've definitely seen the arm talent, but at the same time, it's like, Buddy's just old, been hurt a couple times, and's a lefty. I mean, I know how that is. Yeah, so it's tough if you're a GM to put. I mean, your first round pick, you're talking about $10, $20 million. That's tough to do to someone who has an injury history like that at that age too.
Yeah.
Holton, when you because I'm not even too familiar with this, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners aren't. When you were going through that draft process and pro day and stuff like that, and your agents reaching out to people, what kind of discredits the lefties so much more than the righties? Because you mentioned it there with Penix. You've mentioned it just in normal conversation with me about yourself. So what, for the average person out there, really discredits lefties versus righties?
Well, I don't know about discredits, but I know there's a lot of old-fashioned quarterbacks out there. A lot of these quarterback coaches and OCs are, older and been in a system where they haven't had a lefty before. I mean, I think, it's changing a little bit, but NFL, obviously, the left tackle is the one who gets paid the most, which is the blind side of a right-handed quarterback. So that's the biggest thing, is these teams are paying $50 million to a blind side tackle, and then you get a lefty and he's front side. So
right.
That's the biggest thing for me, is just which tackle you pay. But they put way too much emphasis on any of that. The only difference is, like I said, the tackle. That's the only thing that I could understand. But Everything else is just old school closed-mindedness. Hey, at least that's what I say. At least.
There's one thing you left off that I think people think of a little bit is for the receivers is that ball spin. That ball spin.
But
the ball spin's opposite. I would say a lot of people overlook it. It is like when you switch quarterbacks when you're in like throwing drills. I've seen receivers hard adjust sometimes. They're like, whoa, that came in differently. But that's the only thing. But in the NFL, you have 2 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks. You know more than me, and in college, like your number 1 guy, your number 2 guy, they're taking the majority of the reps. People should adjust to that just off practice alone. So I don't think that's a big call out. But like the ball spin is something the receivers do notice.
No, they definitely spin differently. But you also got to think that these are the best receivers in the world. You're talking about in the NFL. Maybe in college when these dudes are, 19 years old and all that. But when you're in the NFL and you're throwing to DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, any receiver that's in the NFL will probably tell you that it's not that big of a deal.
Can anyone name top lefty quarterbacks in the
Steve
NFL
Young.
right now?
Oh,
Right now?
Tua?
Outside Tua.
That's it.
I can't even name another lefty.
That's what
There isn't.
That's what's
It was
crazy.
me and Tua.
It was you and Tua.
It was dead serious. It was me and Tua. Now it's going to be Michael Penix and Tua. Hopefully I ball out the UFL and I'm scratching surface of one of those conversations.
Back in the conversation.
Good question though, Jack. That was a good one.
Yeah.
There's a little trivia there.
Came up natural.
Drew, did we get your list of QBs in the draft?
Nah, but I think Caleb's consensus number 1. I really like Jaden Daniels. People said the same thing about Burrow, like, oh, his team's loaded. He's not going to be that special. He also transferred in from Arizona State. That's a similar path to Burrow. He's throwing the top receivers just like Burrow. So, I don't know. I like Jaden Daniels too. He's athletic.
He's a Heisman winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 3, I don't want to be basic, but I really think the top 3 is the top 3 with Drake May.
Drake May.
Yeah. I don't want to be boring though, but it's just what I got.
Yeah. I can see that, and that is a good thing on Jaden Daniels. I wasn't hating on him. I'm just saying that's eerily similar to Desmond Ridder with that stuff is having good receivers, having the exact same OC running the same offense. But also you can compare him to Anthony Richardson. He ran great in college. He threw really well. People also don't realize he went to Arizona State and Buddy wasn't a 3-star. He was like a 5-star, number 1 or 2 prospect at quarterback. So, he was a huge get for Arizona State when Herm Edwards was there. So that's obviously a huge question mark, I guess. And mobile quarterbacks in general, it's how long are they going to last? Like we just talked about Anthony Richardson. He wasn't available but for 4 games this year. Now, does he look like a star in the future? Yes, but mobile quarterbacks, are you going to stay healthy?
Right. But a big red flag with me for Jaden Daniels is when he gets hit, he gets blasted. He's on people's highlight tapes.
Pause.
Yeah, big pause. Big pause. he really gets, hit hard. And, that, I don't know if that'd be a red flag or not, but he's on a lot of, linebackers' highlight tapes. So.
And he's not huge. He's not – Anthony Richardson, I've been with the dude. He's 6'4", 240 and jacked. I haven't thrown – actually, Jaden Daniels was at the Manning passing game. I only threw with him. I didn't hang out with him at all. But, he's – from what I see on film, he looks skinny. He doesn't look like Anthony Richardson is a big, bulky dude. The last skinny quarterback like that ran was RG3. He played great until he was hurt. Yeah, I guess Lamar, but are you going to put them in the same category? That's a different style of you know what I mean? I guess that is true that they do kind of have the same body type, but I think that's a different style of play.
Most definitely.
I'm looking at a couple of these lists right now, and J.J. McCarthy is above Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix on a lot of these
wild
lists. Well, the only thing I can think of is he played in that pro offense. The NFL, you know how they like to think of those quarterbacks that come in the pro instead of playing the gun the entire time. But I don't see it still off arm talent. I don't see it off decision making. I think J.J. McCarthy was in a system where you could say Michael Penix Jr. was in a system as well, but he made stuff happen. Bo Nix, I think. Now we talk about it, I think Bo Nix might be the best out of those 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michael Penix Jr., you guys know is my favorite college quarterback this past year. He's fun to watch. But I agree. But seeing J.J. McCarthy above both of them, I don't know. That's mad disrespectful, I think.
I will say this. You're talking about the J.J. McCarthy thing. I think he may be a bust just because he was around it. The thing that scares me, I don't know if he's going to be a bust or not. The thing that scares me about him is he played for the best O-line, best team, had the best defense, everything for his entire career. He went to IMG. Like, he's never been behind a bad O-line. If you're going top 10, you're probably going to have a bad team with a bad O-line, and there's a lot of projecting him to go like 5th overall, which to me is kind of crazy. You're talking about the Michael Penix thing, though, and him playing in the spread. His OC is in Seattle now, so it'd be cool to see him stay in Seattle and learn behind Geno and then eventually take over. Ryan Grubb's obviously there now. Same offense. Obviously, he's going to probably change it a little bit. Another thing about J.J. McCarthy is that they do run – that Michigan does run a pro-style offense, and I know that is something that evaluators look at. He knows terminology. He can go repeat a play in the huddle. Look, these plays that they're going to be running in the NFL are going to be 30 words in the huddle. And if you've never done that before from someone with experience of not doing it until you get there, that is a big difference. And him being able to do that is going to be impressive early on. He might be the most ready to play as a rookie. Now, is he going to go out there and produce and have the top end talent that some of these other guys have? No, but he will be ready to play as a rookie because he's played in a pro style offense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, it's a pretty big advantage. I see that. The one name I see on here that none of us talked about, and the biggest fall from grace, Spencer Rattler. Did we all forget about him? Remember when he was projected the number one quarterback a few years ago?
The Senior Bowl MVP, I'm pretty sure, this year.
Which one was that? I missed that.
The Reese's Senior Bowl.
Reese's.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Dang, we're talking to a 2-time MVP as well.
Drew Daughter? Is that who you're talking about?
It's got to be.
Drew, when are you committing on the show? Break the news. Are you there yet or no? You're not there yet?
Coming soon.
All right.
Coming soon. Drew, can we tell them how you're going to do it? We're going to have a hat selection, Drew. Can we go ahead and say that, or are we going to surprise everyone?
I think the hat selection might have to happen.
Drew, can we get
Tell
a top
them,
5?
Yeah, give us a top 5 right now.
All right. Bama.
Yeah.
Washington.
Okay.
Oregon.
The Renegades?
Okay.
Yeah, the Arlington Renegades. And I'm going to lead the last one.
All right.
All right. Yeah, leave it. Yeah, leave it.
Are you
Leave the
leaning
last
more towards the last one? That you didn't mention the no-name school?
Yeah, I'm probably leaning to that one.
Okay. I respect you keeping that quiet to yourself.
Drew's going to forego eligibility and join Holton in the UFL for the Army.
Dude, come on. Hey, come on, dude. Come on. We need all we can get down here. Dude, I wanted to bring something up. Before I do, I want to talk about Anson Belt, and then I'm going to talk about kind of the UFL. Shout out to Anson Belt. Those guys, the official belt of the Holton Ahlers Show, obviously. We talk about them every week. Over 10,000 combinations. The boys switch them in and out. Hey, it's getting spring now. The bod should be getting a little slimmer. All you got to do is tighten that belt. They're micro-adjustable. They're going to fit you just perfect. Wedding season, too. I wore mine to a wedding last year. I'm going to wear it to every wedding that I do. Nothing better than that old American flag right there on your belt buckle, man. So go check out Anson Belt, ansonbelt.com. There's tons of options. Just go check it out. We'll also be doing some giveaways here soon. So follow us on X at Holton Ahlers Show. And shout out to Anson Belt.
I'd like to point out to our last giveaway winner, I just actually, if you're listening to this, I just got your stuff together. We're going to work on getting that out to you this week. So stay patient. We appreciate you. And you'll be getting that soon.
Jack, how many weeks
yes,
ago
sir.
was that?
Well, spring break took an intermission, so it was the week before that. So
We'll have to put an SLA time on winners.
yeah,
Make sure we get them timely to them.
yeah, you could do it.
Jack was yeah, Caden can start doing it since he lives in G Vegas, and he's got a job now. UFL, dude, I got an idea. So obviously these spring leagues, like, they get cut every single year, and hopefully this UFL, I think it's going to last. Obviously, there's a lot more money into it, and 2 leagues coming together, the competition. I've seen it in person. It's a lot better. You know what drives it, though, is TV. TV drives football in general, even the NFL. Like, tickets make money, but TV drives it. I got an idea. UFL Hard Knocks, boys. Let me pitch it to you and then tell me what you think. People love Hard Knocks in general. People love football. Obviously, Hard Knocks is a very successful NFL one. Think about if you did it with the UFL, dude. I've experienced this firsthand. Everyone has a story in this league. It's not like, I was drafted in the first round and now I have $50 million in my bank account. Vic Beasley, my teammate, was drafted like 6th overall. He's here. Like, having him up there as a vet would be cool. Marquette King, our punter. was obviously a big name back in the day. But then you have guys like one of my boys is a D2 receiver, like trying to grind, trying to get a shot. Like everyone has a story in itself. And I think it would even be, it's like the underdog league. And for people to be able to see that and like see the behind the scenes of even the facilities, like people think like this is not the NFL, dude. Like we share facilities with teams. Like what do we eat on a daily basis? Like how are the meeting rooms? Our receiver coach is also our quarterback coach and OC. How does all that work? Like I think it's a great idea. The Rock. I know you're not watching this, but he should steal it.
Oh, and I think we could take the opportunity. Bring these guys on the show. We'll make you carry around the camera day to day, and then we can have them on the show talk about it.
Yeah.
We should. Yeah. I probably should get him on the show. That's a good idea. I didn't think about that. I thought about
who's the coolest story that you've heard so far that you met?
Dude. Coolest or just like
I would say like the wildest, like maybe like the come up story, like maybe it's a D2 receiver, maybe it's someone who's was the NFL, fall from grace, something like blowing you away.
I'll tell you, like, I think a lot of the stories are like still being written, so I couldn't tell you like the come up story right now because obviously they already be in the NFL. But Vic Beasley going from first round to, 2020 he signed a deal, or 2019 he signed a deal with the Titans worth like $7 million, and then he's playing in this league now. And he was one of those guys, I didn't even know this until one of my teammates told me, he was one of the guys in 2020 that sat out because of COVID and said he wasn't going to play. And now he's in this league, so I'd say he's a dog. Going against him every day in practice, it's very cool. But like, that's just the obvious one. Is 3 years ago he was worth over $10 million in the NFL, and now he's playing in this league. And I'm not saying it's a fault. Dude looked out for his health and probably his family and didn't play in the league. But that's one. COVID impacted a lot of people in different ways, and his career was impacted because of that decision.
So you might not know this. Did they let him go after the COVID year, or is that how he kind of?
I have no clue.
Let's bring him on. I think that'd be a fun one to talk to.
Yeah.
Be a good one.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. He's very, very quiet, dude. It's like,
is he?
I didn't know. I didn't even know it was him. We like Stoops like got everyone to introduce himself, like each position group at a time. And D-line was last, and he was like, "Hey, my name is Vic. I'm from Clemson." I was like, "Is that Vic Beasley? Like that Vic?" And Luis Perez, our quarterback, was like, "Yeah, man, that's Vic Beasley." Oh my gosh.
That's cool.
You mentioned the facilities and sharing with other teams. If you had to put it on a spectrum of high school, college, NFL, where'd you put the facilities on the spectrum?
Dude, so I looked up because like this is our home place. So like where we practice is where we play. Like we have our own locker room. It's just the old Rangers stadium. It's right beside the new Rangers Globe Life Stadium, and then also AT&T Stadium for the Cowboys. So like we have it great. We have good facilities, like good lockers, everything, nice weight room because it's all the old Rangers stuff. But dude, I've heard of teams having to, like we play Houston tomorrow in a joint, or today when this releases, in a joint practice, and like I heard that they stay at the hotel, have to drive 30 minutes to meet, and then another 30 minutes the other way to practice at a high school. So like they're in the bus like 2 hours a day. So like,
jeez.
Yeah, so some of that's wild. But like, dude, another thing, I sent y'all a video, bro, is like, obviously we don't have an indoor here, so we practice in our stadium. But when it rains, we're like, yeah, we're just going to the indoor. We go to a high school's indoor. Could you imagine? Like ECU doesn't even have an indoor, and we're over here pulling up. I sent y'all a video, but like, I'll post it on the page next time we go on X. But this team has a full indoor that we practice in, and it's insane. So like, obviously Texas is huge in high school football, but I thought that was pretty eye-opening.
Jeez, I couldn't imagine driving 30 minutes there and back. Kind of reminds me of that week, 2 weeks that we spent, or is it a week or 2 weeks? I'm pretty sure someone might correct me if I'm wrong here, on some social media platform when we went down to Florida during the hurricane your freshman year.
Yeah.
That was like, we had to drive to Disney. It was like 30 minutes. We had to come back sweaty on the bus. That was disgusting. But I bet it's kind of similar for them too.
Yeah, no, 100% it is. Hey, shout out to Worth Chiropractic, 2 convenient locations on Arlington Boulevard, 1-800-BACK-DOC. They will get you right. Kept me on the field. Can't wait to get back to Greenville, boys. I haven't even told you yet, but I have like 3 days off before the season starts. Might be flying home the 21st through like 24th. So if so, I'm going to be calling 1-800-BACK-DOC because I'm going to get I'm going to get Dr. Wirt to work on my back before the season. But go check out them. 2 convenient locations on Arlington Boulevard. Appreciate them for supporting the show as well. Boys, March Madness. We can't not talk about it. We talked about it a little bit last week. How are we feeling? The Pirates. I posted a tweet, maybe controversial. I said I still believe in the Pirates in this conference. I don't think it's as good as it used to be. Houston's not here. UConn's not here. I think we can make a run. Shout out to the girls right now, literally playing tonight. Noah Henderson, my roommate, ECU alum, is going to the game. I had to film this, obviously, so couldn't go. But how are we feeling about ECU men's basketball going into the tournament?
I was going to say women's basketball. I believe in them. Back-to-back years, kind of underdogs making it to the tournament championship. Regardless of what happens tonight, by the time this is released, they'll already be played. But a 9 versus 10 matchup in the championship is going to be fun to watch, and I'm proud of them, and it's good to see them having success back-to-back years. As far as men's go, I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I mean, you're against Tulsa. Tulsa's one of those teams that are in the middle half, kind of like where you are. So we'll see. Maybe the first game we sneak a little win. I know Holton, you need that. The women's though, that's awesome to see it back to back. 9 and 10 also. That's what March Madness is about.
9 versus 10 seed.
I know. So I love to see that. I don't know. I have no hope, truthfully. If we're gonna be truthful here, I don't really see us. Maybe we win one, but this conference is so challenging. Yeah, you're right. UConn's gone, Houston's gone. But it's still a very competitive basketball conference. I think it's up for grabs for a lot of teams. I think Wichita State, I watched that game earlier today against Rice.
Had them in my parlay.
I mean, they're two. Yeah, I had Wichita State too. I know it's like, 13 and 14, but they go and play Memphis. Memphis, I think, might be the 5 seed, and they barely beat Wichita by 2 points earlier this year, and they lost to Rice, which got knocked out. But still, the 13 and 14 team played very competitive against the number 5 seed Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis is a good basketball school, and they have great recruits. So I think it's going to be pretty competitive. If I had to pick a team in the American to go with, I think I'd ride with South Florida still. I think they've just crushed it this year. I think Charlotte's a good play as well. I really don't know. I think the American Conference is just so up for grabs right now. But what's great is this is kind of like a pregame to
March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness. I love the conference championship games. Anyone can make it. Anyone can win out and make the run. So it's cool to see, the high seeds in the conference, see if they make it to championship or not.
Yeah, I really agree with Caden a lot there. Obviously, the American is up for grabs. Like, there's really been no definite powerhouse team like last year with Houston. But to win the conference, you got to rack off 4 wins in a row, right? Or 5.
Yeah, 4.
I can't really see our team doing that, but maybe we can steal 1 or 2, and then if you get it rolling, anything can happen. But I want to speak on the women's team too. They're missing one of their top 2 players too. Sania Johnson, she's a baller, and she hasn't even played this whole year, and they still fought through adversity and are in the championship or the game before, something like that. But they're playing great. And they're
in the championship.
Yeah, they're in the championship. So they're possibly going to the tournament again. So that's crazy impressive.
My thing is, I've seen UNC Charlotte play. I thought they were the most impressive team, but I think we can beat them. I've seen South Florida play. You could not have told me in a million years that they were the best team in our conference and that we could not beat them. So I believe in the Pirates. It's called March Madness for a reason. We got talent, dude. I don't know what we're doing with the talent. I don't know if they know what they're doing with the talent sometimes, but I believe in the Pirates. That's why I put a $20 futures in on them. So I believe.
Did you hear about our good friend Clip getting fired from his PA job because of his tweet about the basketball program?
No way. What?
Yeah. So Clip used to be the PA guy for baseball, right? And the other night, the play-by-play announcer for basketball forgot to show up or misschedule or something. They didn't have a play-by-play announcer, and Clip tweeted out something like,
"Are you talking about my dad missing
I don't know if DJ Captain Morgan. That doesn't sound like him. But anyway, so Clip tweeted out this just shows the seriousness of the basketball program or something along those lines. And this morning, Tuesday morning, he got fired or relieved of his duties as the PA announcer for baseball.
Wow. That's so soft.
Free Clip. Free clip.
Free clip. That's so soft, dude. I swear, some people in this world are. Don't get me started, buddy.
Oh, and you better watch out. They won't be in the stadium next year if you go too crazy.
We're gonna get canceled. Please cancel us. I have so many stories that I could release. Y'all thought the donor story was crazy.
All right. We're not black.
We're passionate about clip.
Yeah.
We're passionate.
We
about
love
clip.
clip. We love clip.
Let's run into
That actually.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to segue.
No, I was just saying that's crazy. Go ahead, Kate. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna see how the boys have done so far. I don't know if we've talked about. I know we're 2-3 days in already. Has anyone had any big wins on the sports betting yet?
Cooking right
Yeah. Knicks -6.5. Boys won by like 29. Let's go ahead and get into bets. How don't we do that since we're already kind of here, anyways? But yes, I took Knicks -6.5, and Jack, you go ahead and tell them what you're going to lose. I mean, you're tripping.
No, you go first. In fact, match it. Come on, let's go.
No, go ahead.
All right. Before I give my bets and before this segment, I'd like to bring out our good friends, Madame Mesquite. We do giveaways with them all the time. Tons of sweet gear. Good friends of the show. They've been good friends with Holton for a while. But like I said, really cool gear, stickers, hats, hunting accessories, sweatshirt, shirts, all the apparel you can imagine. So yeah, stay tuned. Look out for giveaways on the show, and maybe you'll be lucky enough to get some Madame Mesquite gear from us. But now to my bets. First, the Hurricanes got me back on track last week, and I'm going back to them. They play the Florida Panthers, who are 45-17, whereas the Hurricanes are only 39-20. So the Panthers are pretty good, but it is at PNC Arena, so the Hurricanes are favored -125 for the money line. I'm going to take that, and you could choose to parlay it with this one if you'd like. This one especially for you, Holton. I'm taking the Sacramento Kings money line versus the New York Knicks on Saturday in Golden 1. And I'm pretty confident in it. Holton seems to be high on the Knicks. Me and Drew talk about it almost every night that they're playing, that they're falling off and they'd be lucky to make the play-in. But when they see Sabonis and Fox light the beam, they're going to be shook. So I'm going Hurricanes on Thursday night at PNC versus the Panthers, and Kings money line on Saturday versus the New York Knicks.
Hold on.
Hold up. Yes.
Let me just throw in. I said I think they'll be in the play-in. They won't miss the play-in.
You were talking about their decline, though.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are. Just from injuries.
Yeah.
Because they're just racking
off Because their coach
L's.
doesn't know how to, yeah.
Go
See,
ahead.
Jack, we just caught Drew because I was playing Fortnite with Drew yesterday, and he was thinking about becoming a Knicks fan.
Hold on.
And saying how
what?
good
Where are
we
y'all
are.
getting this knowledge?
You're getting a two-sided Drew then, because when we're just at home chilling, he's dissing on the Knicks lately.
I even told you that they might mess around and be in the play-in because they losing.
Well, Jack, I also want to tell you one thing. This shows how unknowledgeable you are about the situation. The Knicks are actually getting healthy. The Knicks are actually getting healthy. They were injured. All their guys are getting healthy now, which fake fan Drew also said last night when he was deciding to become a Knicks fan.
Drew, you're not a Knicks fan. Anyways,
but
we want you at your best. That's good.
Jack, you know who I ride with.
I agree. But the one thing I will say about the Kings situation is they do got Sabonis, which if you ask any basketball fan in the world that's not a Kings fan, they have no clue who Sabonis is. I mean, yes, he's has good stats.
If you're a
dude
basketball
is going to
fan,
get absolutely
Sabonis is. Stop it.
He's going to get bodied. I'm a basketball fan. He's going to get bodied by OG Anunoby.
Basketball fan. Okay, move on to your.
He
bets,
will.
please. We'll talk about this next week on the show after.
I got New York Knicks spread versus the Blazers on Thursday night. That one's easy. I'm not even going to talk about the Kings game because, look, I do understand it's a long road trip. I look at that. They're going from New York to Lib City. And, I mean, I don't know if they're going to play the best. I do know that we're the most talented team. And the Kings might be – I don't even know how – I think they have a decent record this year. You're talking about play-ins and stuff. You Kings fans know about that. Knicks fans don't really know about that because we won't be in it.
Yeah, 'cause you guys don't even make the playoffs ever.
I only have one bet tonight, boys. Y'all can go on. Hey, but before I do, Wayne Hardy Law. Check out Wayne Hardy. 1-800-INJURED. In a car accident or anything in between, they will treat you like family, give you a rental car, handle your law stuff, obviously, file your insurance, help you out with all that. They treat you like family. 1-800-INJURED. Shout out to Wayne Hardy Law. Go check those guys out.
I think just for the standings of our bets, you need to put in 2, and I think you should just fade me and take the Knicks versus the Kings. Since you're so
I'll tell you this: if the spread was out, I probably would.
Just do
I
money
don't.
line. What? You don't believe in your team?
How are you not
No,
picking 2?
Because we're gonna post them. I said this in the group text that we're just gonna post our like actual bets when the spread comes out. Like I don't know what the spread of the Knicks Blazers is, but I'm
So you're
confident
gonna
of
add
that.
another one in though.
Yes, we'll post it
Okay.
on Thursday of like our actual bets.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Caden, who do you got?
Well, I thought I read the group chat, and I didn't know we were doing this segment. So I'm on the fly, and I came up with 2 off the dome because I'm about the team. So everyone listening, I want to make sure you guys get something good. So I'm looking at a few games right now. I really like St. John's versus Seton Hall tomorrow. Thursday, actually, when it comes out. So Thursday, around 2:30. So it'll be right near when this first comes out. I like Rick Pitino and the Red Storm ever since he had that unathletic comment. I think they're on a 5-0 run. And what's a better time to make sure you make it in the tournament is to go crazy in the Big East the conference championship tournament. Oh my goodness. But I'm taking Rick Pitino and the Red Storm against Seton Hall. I just think they got the momentum. It doesn't matter about the statistics right now in March Madness. I think if you just have the right momentum and you have a legendary coach, you're gonna ball out. So I like Rick Pitino and the Red Storm. And then
I got a question.
Yeah.
Who the hell's the Red Storm? What team is that?
Oh, did I not say the name? St. John's.
You did.
Oh, okay. Oh,
St.
my bad.
John's.
I'm
Come
tripping.
on. You're not a college basketball fan, obviously.
NBA fan, go Knicks.
And then I'm between 2 games right now, but I'm not gonna diss ECU. I was gonna pick against ECU with Tulsa. Won't do that because I don't like betting on East Carolina and the love of my life here. So I'm picking Ohio State against Iowa. Right now, there's no spread, obviously, but Iowa's favored off the little ESPN meter, and Iowa's just not the same Iowa team they were this past year. Ohio State, though, ever since they fired their coach, has been going crazy. Their interim coach, he had that knockoff against Purdue, and then since that knockoff against Purdue, since he took over at the helm, he's 6-1. Iowa, they've been shaky all year. They haven't got offense to click. So I like Ohio State here to get a nice little conference championship
Ohio
win.
State and
I
St.
keep
John's.
calling everything conference championship, conference tournament win.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No. So do you believe in those bets?
Dude, I just picked them. I'm riding too.
Whoa, I hear you. Before we send it to Drew, hey, look, if you want to be comfortable, you want to relax while you're doing these bets, you go to southernease.com. What are you waiting for? Experience the many wellness benefits of Southern Knees tasty hemp edibles by going to southernease.com. Shout out to them, our title sponsor. You're going to be hearing a lot from them. We're going to do some giveaways, some big things in the future. Drew, they need to go to southernease.com so they won't be stressed about your bets, but what bets do you got this week?
All right. Before I go, I just want to clear up right quick. I said with Holton on the game, I said I believe the Knicks are the only team in the East that can beat the Celtics.
Bang.
If they're healthy. But I also think they could mess around and be in the play-in if they don't consecutively win games. Just clear
They
that
got
up.
OG back now, though, so I don't know if I'm going to accept you as a fan anymore. I'm still recruiting guys, so I guess I will, but Jack is over here twisting words saying that we're not going to make the play-in.
fans for your basketball team.
Sorry, Jack. I don't hear haters, but you can go cheer for the Kings in Cali.
I will.
All right. Back to my bets. All right, so I got Shai Gilgeous Alexander over 31 points versus the Mavs. This is the battle of the stat patterns between Luka and Shai. I don't know if y'all saw, but Shai chases 30 like nothing ever. He fouled at the end of the game when the game was already over just so he could get the ball back and get 30 points.
I like that.
Yeah, so he's about that 30-point life. And he just broke KD's 30-point record for OKC. And Lakers Saturday spread versus the Warriors. I typically do player props, but in honor of FanDuel and all those apps becoming legal in North Carolina, I'll take a spread. So Lakers spread versus the Warriors Saturday. They've played really good against the Warriors. They haven't had a home game against the Warriors this year. Their only loss to the Warriors came when they didn't have D'Angelo Russell, and Curry might not even play. So I think the Warriors could get blown out in that game.
I like it. I like it, boys.
I like
It's
the
been
two-
fun.
One thing, Holden. You hear me?
What's up?
Jack has a 3-leg parlay, and we'll know by tomorrow. 4-leg parlay. We'll know by tomorrow, obviously, if he won or lost. He has 1 leg left. Should he cash out or not cash out? Jack, tell him the leg you got.
No.
if I win this last leg, this fourth leg tonight, I cash out $800. If I could cash out right now though and take home $255.
What is the last game?
Kansas versus Cincinnati, and Kansas has 2 players out. And
Two
I
of
took
their
Kansas.
best players out.
It's Kansas in March though. I don't know. Rock chalk. I'm feeling it.
I would take
I'm scared,
Kansas.
though.
I think Kansas is good.
This is
When is the game?
tonight at 9:30 Eastern.
On Wednesday night. We're recording Wednesday night. Hey, let's post it on the page. Get the fans' opinion. We'll post it right here after this.
I don't want that juju out there
This
yet.
is
Let's
my
just,
theory.
Let's just ride in here and knock on wood.
He's riding it on a referral bet, so he has a free $100, and he has a cash out for about $300 right now. You tripled your money. You basically tripled your money because you had no money in it.
Keep the money or keep the talk in here right now, Holton. I don't want this out yet. I want to just
Jack,
talk about.
that's
talk
great
about
content.
I'm a reasonable guy. I mean, that responsible guy. I say take the money and run. I don't think Kansas is winning. Kansas
Drew?
is focusing on the big tournament. They're
Drew,
not.
what would you
focused on
do
the
if
Big
you're
12.
me? Rock chalk.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. Bro, Kansas in March. Probably the most seasoned.
All right,
Now,
I need to go
Kansas-
home so I could research this and stuff. We gotta
Also,
wrap this
I
Jack.
just want to last thing that I'm gonna say. Knicks versus Kings. I am super confident that the Kings would win. I'm sorry, and like,
All right, we're looking for a new
Like
producer.
the beam.
I'll even
Like
do a
the
punishment
beam.
if the Knicks win.
Like the beam.
I'll even
Hold
do a
on, wait,
punishment.
what?
Let's
What
go.
will
I'll
you
even do a punishment if the Knicks beat the Kings.
What will you
They
do?
Have, you can pick it.
Holton, if the Kings
That
win,
shave
you got
your
to
head.
tweet out "Go Kings, light the beam."
No, but Drew, I didn't
Scared.
say I was going to do one. Drew, shave your head.
See, like that's ridiculous. Let's-
You
I'll do a reasonable punishment. if
Cinnamon
I-
challenge.
We'll
Post
talk
it
it
on
over.
Twitter.
We'll talk it over and tweet
All
it
right.
out.
That something that won't kill me, but sure.
Cinnamon
Something
challenge. And then
something along
Jack-
those lines.
we got to post it, dude. It's great content. It's the first week. You're
We'll
going
talk-
for it.
we'll
We got to
talk
get
about it
people's
after
opinion.
this.
All right, episode 10 got Kurt next week. Shout out to our title sponsor, Southern Ease. We'll see you next week.